Howdy, Possum Patty and the mayor here. Yepper, Stinky Winky Woos. Stinky Winky Winky Woos, yes. I was just getting out some supplies and she came knocking at the door. No, it's not live. Today's only Thursday. Tomorrow's live. I think she has her days confused. Yeppers. Well, welcome to a Watercolor Wednesday. Yes. And today we're going to have a play with the Usborne Activities How to Draw Fairies and Mermaids book. And I will link the other video I made about this book below. I have some inexpensive watercolor paper. It is heavy. I like to use the heavy one to make ephemera or 4x6 postcards that I can paint on and send out. So this is 140 pound or 300 gram. And let's see, I've got watercolors. I've got my Paul Rubin watercolors. I got a bunch of old Tombow markers that, will run with the water. And I've got a couple of things over here, some Inktense pencils by Derwent that are water soluble and some actual watercolor pencils. And I've got some D.D. Dupray's shimmer colors for fairy wings. And I've got some oil pastels because today we're going to be working on rainy day fairies. So let's get to it. Come on along. Somebody wants to come back up. All right, come on. Okay, you want to say it with me? Come on along. Let's take a little closer look at Usborne Activities, How to Draw Fairies and Mermaids with stickers before I show you my supplies a little closer up. Now you might remember we did a page in here and practiced some of these little fairies like this. Simple fairies, yes, simple fairies. We worked on these, one with the Possum Patty braids right there. You can also do the flowers. We have not done moonlight fairies yet. I think we did some dragonflies and some flying fairies one day. I don't know if I recorded that. I think I did. And they're down here by the fish pond. Flower garden fairies here. Flower garden fairies peeking out behind the flowers. I love this idea of taking these realistic pictures, like maybe from Birds and Blooms magazine, and then putting these little fairies around them. So cute. I think I worked on this too. I did not do fairy cakes. It says make these out of tissue paper, but I'm thinking you can make it out of anything if you don't have tissue paper. And I do love these little fairies too. So we'll do this page. And the heart fairies, I know I went here and did these roses. I practiced those roses one day. What I want to do today are the rainy day fairies. It's supposed to start raining pretty soon. Of course, it's a soggy bottom. There are dancing fairies. There are stickers with fairies and mermaids. We have the fairy queen. We have the paper chain fairies here. Mermaids on rocks. I want to do some of these for my beach journal for sure. And here's a different kind of mermaid. You can use a wax crayon or oil pastel to do the resist. Mermaid's Tea Party. Did we do the Mermaid's Tea Party? I think we did. I have to go back. I don't remember now what I've done. I know we didn't do mermaids with silver tails. Wave jumping. These are really fun. And it looks like they're using colored pencil and watercolors. Yes, watercolors and maybe colored pencils after it dries. We did not do mermaid door signs, no. And I think we did some different hairstyles. But I want to do rainy day fairies. So I love these. They're using the mushrooms and the leaves as like little umbrellas, very watery looking. So let's look at the instructions for the rainy day fairies. Use a pencil to draw a circle for the fairy's head. Then add a dress with a wavy bottom edge. That looks easy enough. Draw her arms, legs, and wings too. Draw her hair, eyes, and eyelashes, her nose, and a big smile. Then draw little heart-shaped lips on the smile. Draw more fairies in the same way. Add some leaves and toadstools as umbrellas. Then use a white wax crayon to draw lines for raindrops. Or you can use an oil pastel or a white crayon. Brush water over the paper, then brush watery pink paint on top so it spreads in the water. Add some blobs of yellow paint too. So if you're doing a whole picture like this, you can draw in your fairies and everything else and then wash a background. Oh, look at Wilson from Soggy Bottom Fairy Tales. There's Wilson, the little worm, splash in a puddle. When the paint is dry, draw over your pencil lines with different felt tip pens. Add patterns on the fairy dresses too. Dip a thin paintbrush into water, then brush over the pen line so the ink runs. So you want a water-based ink. Clean your brush after you do each part of the fairies. Okay, so I think today we're just going to experiment a little bit and maybe try a toadstool or a leaf and a fairy and a Wilson, or just have a little bit of a play. I did cut some 4x6 watercolor cards here, so I'm going to use the scraps to practice on some of these things from when I cut those. I've got Tombow markers, which are water soluble. Okay. So there's a pink Tombow and a green Tombow and a lighter green Tombow and a yellow Tombow. And let's see, how many colors do we need? There's orange. It's like a lavender, brown. I think there's a little bit of a darker yellow, blue. Well, we went to the Dollar Tree and I got these zebra click art, $1.25, bullet tip, purple ink, retractable felt tip by Zebra. And there's a picture of the zebra on the side there. And I only bought 3 colors to try. I've got pink, purple, and green. Pink, purple, and green. Yes, pink, purple, and green. It says water-based ink. So that means they may run. They may run. So let's try something easy. They have a little plug here. It doesn't say put the plug back in, but I'm wondering how a felt tip pen doesn't dry out if you don't put the plug back in. I'm just going to try a very simple leaf like this. I can always cut it out and then give it to a fairy. Don't have to draw it with her. So it's got a stem. And then I'm going to come back here, finish the stem, and then sort of match what's going on the other side, like that. And I want to put a vein. I'm not sure if this is going to run or not. It says water-based. So I'll just put a little bit of a thick edge and we'll see if it runs. Now this is all experiment, all play. And then you can take your finished products and cut them up and use them as ephemera. A little bit of a vein in the middle there. All right, that does click close, but I don't know. If you don't use this right away, is it going to dry up, or are you supposed to put that back in? It doesn't say on the package. I don't think it says that. Water-based ink. Felt tip is perfect for journaling, coloring, and everyday writing. Retractable and capless functionality. Never worry about losing your cap again. Recommend storing pens in a cool and dry location. It says you don't have to worry about caps. Oh, I do worry so about caps. All right, we're going to put a little bit of water on this. Let me get a brush. I got a water here. And then we might add some color with another marker or use this pen. I'm going to use this brush on the pen here. Just put a little bit of water. Okay, it runs a little bit. It might take a little while. Buying a lot of name brand pens can be very expensive, so I'm always experimenting with brands from the Dollar Tree or the children's section. Now, I just drew this directly with the pen. You could draw it with a pencil first. I love pens that run when you wet them, but then I do love a pen that doesn't run when you wet it because, you know, you have to put your details in. So let's see, I'll wet this in the middle, see if that runs. All right, I want to get more color in here. Now this leaf doesn't have a lot of color. There's a little dark there, dark around the edge. Very watery looking. I like this effect. Oh, and this one too. I don't know if I could do that with this. I do have this darker green, but now this is wet. Okay, I know you want to do fairies, but this is just an experiment with my with my supplies here and with this paper, and just a little bit of a warm-up practice. A little bit of a warm-up practice before we get to the fairy. I don't know, how's this going to look? Is this going to be watery enough? If I just put it here and try to spread it out? I know. Before you say anything, and write it down in the comments, I know today is Thursday. And I know tomorrow is Live Friday. Yes, I know all that. I'm well aware. But I didn't get to do this yesterday, and I really wanted to do a Watercolor Wednesday. So I am doing my Watercolor Wednesday on Thursday. Thinky Winky Woos thinks it's Friday. And that's the story, but don't worry about it. No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Trying to blend this green, bring out some of the color, make it look real watery because it's in the rain. Something like that. Oh, it's really starting to run now around the edge, but don't worry about it. It's going to get cut out anyway. Oh, I don't know. I feel like I want to put just a little bit more color on there. Sometimes I go too crazy with the color. Now, I do like this little spot here. I got a bloom. That's called a bloom. A watery bloom there. I like that. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to put too much color, but maybe just a little bit of yellow. You know me, I like to mix up my colors. I don't know, might want to make this a little more watery here too. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. All right, what's that going to do? What's that going to do? Let's see. Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving just a little bit of color in there. I want it a little darker in spots. I want it a little lighter in spots. A couple different colors on there. I'm getting some more blooms. I love that. I love that. Yeah, because it's a little bit of a wavy edge to where I added more water on top of the watercolor, and that just makes it more leaf-like. Maybe one more go round. Maybe one more. Maybe one more. This might be too much. It might be one step too far. I want some more of those blooms in there. I want some more of those lines. I don't know if I can get it. I usually get those by accident. I got a bloom over there. Good. Okay, lots of blooms. Lots of blooms. A bloom is just where the water spreads the paint out and it leaves a little bit of a darker edge. Some people like that in their watercolor painting. Some people don't. Some people like hard edges. Some people like soft edges. It's all a matter of taste, but oh, I love it now. I love it. I love it. Let's see. Cut it out. Now I have to make a fairy. A fairy to go under this. Yes, I'm going to leave a little bit of a white edge on a few places. Because I think that would be coolio. Now you might not want to bloom like across a fairy's face. But I think it looks great on a leaf. Now, any lines that you don't want to blur, you can use your micron pen, fine liner, maybe a Sharpie. Give it a second to dry before you paint on top of it. And just finish this off like that. There. Okay. We had a little bit of practice. And I made a leaf. I made a leaf. Get another piece of scrap paper. And I'm going to make a fairy. We're going to make our rainy day fairy fit inside this little scrap of paper. And I'm going to have to be careful because her arms have to come out wider than her head. See, there's her wings, and her dress sort of flows out that way, and she's got a leg. So we're going to just do it in pencil and make a round circle for her head. The next step was to make a dress with a wavy edge. Trying to make it look a little more flowy. Flowy, yes. Like that. What I'm going to do is draw the fairy and then go over with the Sharpie, let that dry a second, and then add some colors, I think. I'll still use the same supplies, but I'm going to do her in black first. Okay, the arms are coming out from way over here. See, if I bend her arms up more, I can get the same length without going out so far. Okay, this is going to be a wing here. And a wing coming out down here. And a wing up here. And a wing coming down here. She's got like butterfly wings. And then she's got a dainty little leg coming out here. And and the other one. So now we're going to go over here and put in some details. What hairstyle do we want to do? Oh, let's do the braids. Let's do the braids. All right, let me get the features in, then I'll do the hair. So she's got simple eyes, eyelashes, and the nose is way up here. Little fairy nose. And then the mouth is way down here with a little heart shape. Lips. Okay, gonna give her some hair. And 2 braids flying back. Okay, one's gonna be over there, one's gonna be over there. And one on this side. There, sort of, kind of. Now this has a lot of texture to it. It's cold pressed watercolor paper. So the lines might come out a little bumpy, but we're not going to worry about that. The braid looks like little hearts. You don't have to go over your pencil lines exactly because you're going to get erased. And then she got some straight ends streaming out there. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you laugh. All right. Careful with the eyes. Careful with the eyes. A little bit of a nose. A mouth. With the lips. Like that. Okay, make her face come down. She could have little pink cheeks or maybe little freckles like that. Okay, now the dress. Very simple shape. Arms. Keep it very simple. Just put a little bend in there, little round part where her hands are. That's all you need to do. You can make the wings as big or as little as you want, or as frilly as you want. You don't have to make them a solid line. And then I can move her leg over. I can move her leg over. Or if you put a little line here, then it looks like she's got slippers on. Yeah, that's all you have to do. You can decorate your fairy any way you want. I do have a very soft eraser. I'm going to start at the top where I was drawing first and just lightly erase the pencil lines. All right, now they drew lines like around the waist, or decorated it different ways. I like this with the leaf design, or you can have a flower petal design. So what can I put here? Or I could design it with the pens. Just make it look more like a dress, I guess. All right. Might be a little hard to cut out with those skinny legs. These are almost dry. They're probably about 15 years old. But because they're using felt tip markers and water, I thought I would try that. So I'm going to color in her flesh. Now you can have a darker fairy or a lighter fairy or a purple fairy. Your fairy's skin color can be any color you want it to be. Looking for a pink here. A little tiny pink dot. Oh, I'm not going to do the lips yet. Not going to do the lips yet, no. And I'm going to pretend I'm painting. Try to move some of that color around with the water. You notice I concentrated the pink all there in one spot because I figured I could probably get it to spread around her face a little bit. She is kind of yellow. So sometimes, where's that scrap? You can put some marker on the paper. And pull some color off. This is the same as using like distress markers, Ranger Distress, Marvy, clickable felt pens from the Dollar Tree. If you don't want to put too much color in a small space, just do it this way. This is almost dry. You could take pink and yellow, make a peachy color, do a light tan, a brown. Okay, that's good enough. All right, shall we give her gray hair? Do I have gray? Do I have gray? Let's see. No, I don't. Oh, I could use regular watercolor. You can mix and match your supplies. I was using felt tip pens because that's what they were using. But I want a little gray. Just a little bit. Okay, let's see. What color dress is going to have a big green leaf? Lavender and blue. Lavender and blue. Or pink. We could use a combination of these colors. And we do want shimmer wings. Let's see. Don't want them too dark. These paints came off at Temu. DD Praise. They have several different sets, I believe, if you look it up. The products on Temu tend to change quite a bit. The first fairies that we painted together were called the Simple Fairies. These are a little bit more complicated. I'm not making her wings a solid purple. They'll look more in motion this way. Vary the color around. A little bit of dark, a little bit of light. And should we give her a shimmer dress? We can give her a shimmer dress too. While I got these out, looks like I use a lot of that color, whatever that is. I must love that color. All right, let me dry her a little bit. And now you can see how her wings shimmer in the light. Well, I hope you can see that. Okay, let's see. One more thing. Oh, look at this blue. I didn't spray these. That's okay. Gotta work it in there a little bit. We'll just pretend she's the forget-me-not flower fairy. And just give her a blue petal skirt. Maybe we'll make that part yellow or gold. I never stay in the lines. I don't know how gold will look. Should we do yellow? Should we do gold? All right, we'll try a little gold. But I believe we did it. The rainy day fairy. Throw these scraps away. I think I will grab my Sharpie and color in her slippers. So there's my rainy day watercolor fairy. Put her on a colored background here. Miss Stinky Winky Woos is looking for my attention. She can hold the leaf and we can still see her braids if I do that, right? Can point it up. Something like that. Yeah. Okay. That was fun. All right, so there's my rainy day fairy with her leaf umbrella. Well, that was a lot of fun. Yes, I think it took me like an hour to do one fairy and one leaf, but that's okay. The mayor was not in a rush. No, we were not in a rush. We were not in a rush today. Just having a little bit of a watercolor play. I do love my fairy and my leaf. I want to make some more. But this is enough video for, one upload. So I'll edit it down a little bit, because it's an hour long. I'll edit it down a little bit. This might be fun to do during a live because it takes so long, but I'd want to do an overhead camera here so you could see what I was doing. But anyway, thank you. Thanks for coming along today. Just let me know in the comments below if you're playing with some watercolors today for Watercolor Wednesday. I know it's Thursday. I know it's Thursday. I'm behind. Thinky Winky Woos thinks it's Friday. Yeah. Okay, so yes, I love that. Yes, I did. A lot of fun today. We'll have to try some more. Happy Watercolor Wednesday. Keep those brushes wet. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.